Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing another video game review, and that will be of the Nintendo Wii's No More Heroes. Take a look at this cover right here. Now, No More Heroes is an interesting game for me because it's a game that I bought with really no influences whatsoever. Although I did see a review of it, there was no outside influence that prompted me to go out and buy this game. I did purely on impulse. Well, there was no reviewer that wanted me to get this game. No one suggested it to me, and I didn't have it hyped up at all by a trailer at all. I just went out and bought it. I don't remember why. I bought it about a year ago on my birthday, and I don't remember if it was me that bought it, my girlfriend, or my parents. But it was bought anyways. I believe my girlfriend bought it. I'll give her the credit. So, was it a good idea to go out and buy this game and add it to my Wii collection, or should it be thrown to the wayside just like Too Human was? Well, I'll let you know in this review. So let's start things off with concept. The concept of No More Heroes is pretty easy. You play as Travis Touchdown, and Travis is a basic geek. He loves anime, he watches professional wrestling, he digs comic and action figures, and he plays with his pet cat. Sounds like a bunch of people that we all know. Anyways, moving on from that, he goes on eBay and he buys a beam katana. Yeah, I guess you can't use lightsabers, so they call it a beam katana. Last time I checked, when did eBay ever have weapons like that on there? I never went on there and typed in BFG 9000 and bam, there you go, the Doom weapon came up. But I guess, you gotta have some disbelief in this and you just gotta roll with it. So he buys his beam katana and he just wants to become the world's greatest assassin. But to do that, he has to kill off 10 other assassins to get to that position. You meet along the way tons of freaky and interesting and complex different kinds of enemies to fight. And you also have some kind of mysterious woman vixen, who, for lack of a better term, is your agent. She sets up these fights with these assassins. So that's the basic concept of the game. Let's get into the story itself. The story isn't that bad. It doesn't have that much to it. It really doesn't have that much depth. I mean, you're an assassin going around killing other assassins. That's it. Well, it may not have that much depth to it. There's still something to it that compels me to want to play the game all the way through. So there is something there. There's a few twists and turns, but nothing really that big. The story on a whole, it entertains you. Is it overly impressive? No, but it gets the job done. So there, the story is a nice point. Now the voice acting was very good, and the script that they had in this was very nice also. It was absolutely funny. A lot of cussing and swears thrown down, a lot of inside jokes that only geeks would understand. I remember popping this game in the first time that I played it on my birthday, and my girlfriend was sitting next to me. I was laughing my ass off while she just wasn't getting any of it. Now, maybe my girlfriend and I have a different sense of humor, but really we don't. I just understand the jokes that she didn't. So there's a lot of inside geek jokes here. But on a whole, the voice acting was pretty spot on. I like who they picked for the voice actors, especially Travis Touchdown and Sylvia. And the jokes were good. Graphics. Now, the graphics is something I really wanted to comment on. Well, it may not be next-gen like graphics. It has kind of a cel-shade-like look to it. Similar to Killer 7, done by the same person that made this game. The cell shape gives it kind of a rugged feel, which is very nice, and it adds to this game. I do like the graphics, although they may not be top-notch. That doesn't bother me, because graphics don't make a game. It's the gameplay that does. And these graphics add to the feel. It really gives you a good feel for this game. It really gives to the atmosphere, and I like the graphics. Let's just say that. Graphics really won me over. Now, gameplay. Gameplay is pretty easy. The controls work as such. You have your Wii Nunchuck, which you use to guide Travis around, and then you have your Wii Remote that you use to actually use your beam katana. This is one of the few Wii games that actually pulls off the sword motion pretty well. Now, see, where you may not necessarily move your Wii Remote like this and the sword follows, what happens is, depending on what direction you wave your remote, the sword will correspond like that. So say if I do this, the sword will come down. If I go in, I will do a poke. If I come to the side, I will slash to the side. Any direction. However, you can't just move your sword around like that. It's not free movement. The game controls actually work pretty well. It's pretty basic. There's not much complexity to them, but the controls work out fairly well, and really it's a sword game, so all that matters is you go around doing the sword attacks. There's secondary grapple attacks, stuff like that. Like, I remember one point you throw the sword up in the air and you do a tombstone pile driver, and the sword lands on the person. These grapples don't really come out that much, but they are fun to do and they are fun to watch. There's also a super mode that when you do enough kills, a little beam meter comes up on the bottom and you hit jackpot. This gives you superpowers in some different way. The only problem is you usually get this towards the end of the fight, and you're left running around the whole entire level doing nothing but, yeah, super powered up. It's a nice added feature. It's just a shame it didn't show up that much often. This does have a sandbox-like world to it. However, the main story is very linear. You have your main assassins-like stories, and then side jobs that you do, part-time jobs. Now, I was surprised to see that the part-time jobs were actually fun. They used the Wii Remote in different functions. For example, if you were picking up trash, you would have to poke and lift. Poke and lift. Yeah, sure, it's nothing overly complex, but it's still fun, and it helps the game go across. There was also mowing the lawn, where you had to use the Wii Remote in a weird fashion, and it adds a bit of challenge to it. So, the side jobs were actually fun, and almost as good as the main quest. Now, the main quest was pretty good, too, and it's really linear. So if you don't like linear games, you probably won't like the main quest here. However, if you're someone that's okay with linear games, then you will actually like this, because you go from one assassin to another, and it basically marks on your map where to go. There's also ability to customize your place and your clothes and stuff like that, and to get 4 different katanas. There's your regular katana, there's like a katana that has 3 blades on it, and then there's another katana and your final katana. You can't get the true ending of the story unless you get all the katanas. However, it's not like an epic journey to get these katanas. You can pick them up pretty easily, and it takes you all about maybe an hour to do, if you wanted. So that's the basic gameplay, and the gameplay was actually pretty fun. Simple, but straight to the point. So, with that said, let's just get on to the end. Well, No More Heroes has a great feel to it, and it's a pretty good game. I enjoyed it a lot. Where it may not be the best game out there, it's definitely a very good game for the Wii. It has a lot of humor to it. The characters are pretty nice, although they're not maybe overly developed or overly complex. They're still fun to watch, and Travis Touchdown is a cool guy. Plus, the gameplay works out pretty well. Maybe not the best sword game out there, but it actually utilizes the Wii Remote well enough. It may not be perfect, but well enough. And on a whole, I think anyone would enjoy this game. You can pick it up for maybe like $14. You can play it. If you go all the way through, it may take you maybe 10 hours at the most. I think. I forget exactly the play time I did. However, I would recommend No More Heroes. It's one of my favorite Wii games outside of the major franchises. And there's a sequel coming out sometime soon, which is good because the ending, the true ending, lets you off on a cliffhanger. So with that said, I highly recommend going out and pick up No More Heroes. Because, you know what? It's just a fun game. And you can get it for pretty cheap, and if you're looking for a good, hardcore Wii game, you got it here. I mean, just look at the description. Mature, blood and gore, crude humor, intense violence, sexual scenes, and strong language. How awesome is that? But yes, with that said, pick up No More Heroes. You will not be disappointed. With that said, I'm going to end this review here. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.